Let's go back to February 14, 2014. It is the full moon of the third month. This full moon of the third month in India, it's called Makha. Makha. Therefore, we call this month Makha Masa. Masa is month. And it is on this day, on this date, that something happened way back 2,600 years ago, during the time of the Buddha, when his very first batch of his disciples, 1,250 monks, came without making any previous appointment. They just came to pay respect to the Buddha. So that's one factor. Then the second one, all of them were enlightened. And the third one, all of them were ordained by the Buddha. We call them Ehi Bhikkhu Upasampada. They were ordained by the Buddha. And as they went out to spread the words of the Buddha in different villages, on that particular full moon day, somehow they thought of the Buddha, and together they came together to pay respect to the Buddha again. And during that time, the Buddha chose to give them teaching. Very simple teaching, but something that is very direct in our life. If we want to follow the teaching of the Buddha, we can follow this very first verses of the teaching, which says, Sappapapa sa'agaranam. Avoid all evil. Avoid all evil. Sappapapa sa'agaranam kusala supa sammata. Do only good things, good act. Perform only good act. Sajitta pariyodhapanam. And always improve your mind. Be careful with your mental formation. Try always to improve your mental formation. If you have been able to let go of hatred, next step, we should try to let go of greed. The three fires that keep burning us all the time: hatred, anger and hatred, and greed and delusion. Of course, sometimes the three brothers, I call it the three brothers, the gang of three, always come together. Which one is more active than others? If we have been able to let go of the first one, hatred, we now should try to let go of greed and delusion. That is the meaning of Sajitta Pariyodhapanam. What is very moving for me is the last sentence, which says, Etang Buddhana Sasanam. This is the teaching of the Buddha. The Buddhas of the past, all the Buddhas, all the previous Buddhas also teach the same thing. So therefore, this message for our practice was real in the past, is real now, and will always be real in the future for all of us who practice, for all of us who call ourselves Buddhist, and for all of us on this day, the full moon of the third month. We pay respect to the Buddha, we remember his teaching, and we put his teaching in our life. When we put his teaching in our life, we live the teaching of the Buddha, and that's how we pay respect to the Buddha. It is not essential that we pay respect only verbally, chanting, in praying, but his teaching is real, and when you put it into practice, all of us can set ourselves free of suffering, and all of us can preach this teaching to humankind, so that our friends, our brothers, our sisters can live a happy life, in spite of the fact that the surrounding may not be so rich, the surrounding may not be so pleasant. But to be pleasant or unpleasant, it is always the quality of the mind. So if we follow the teaching of the Buddha, put the teaching of the Buddha into practice, into our life, we live the teaching, and that's how we are Buddhists. That's how we pay respect to the Buddha on this month, Māgha Pūjā. Sadhu.